Hi, this time I'm looking at a beautiful Wes Montgomery line taken from the track Moving Along from the album of the same name. So let me play it a couple of times, then we'll pull it apart. And before we get into the analysis, just a quick reminder, if you'd like to see a transcription of this or any of my other lines and solos, you'll find a link in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like and subscribe. So as I mentioned, this lovely Wes Montgomery line comes from the track Moving Along. And Wes is famous for playing with his thumb, not using a pick, playing everything with his thumb, which creates that beautiful kind of muted, slightly muffled, very lyrical, soft sound, which is so distinctive. I don't play with my thumb. I mean, I could try, but it's probably best for all of us that I don't. So I'm playing this with a plectrum and consoling myself that it's the notes that matter. But if you want to be authentic, obviously, the thumb is the way to go. So the line starts off, let's just talk about the chords, first of all. So we start off, we've got F sharp minor 7 to B7. So 2 beats on both of those chords. Then the same thing down a half step, F minor 7 to B flat 7. And then the sequence going from E flat 9 sus, which we could also see as being D flat over E flat, to E flat 9. And there's 2 beats on every chord, so you get this. 3 and 4 and. We could see this as being a non-resolving 2-5, and then a 2-5-1 in E flat. And over this F sharp minor 7th chord, Wes starts out with this idea. And these first 4 16th notes are a pickup. So basically, it starts on beat 4, the preceding bar. 3 and. And the notes he's playing here, we've got G sharp A, C sharp E, G, G sharp, then B, then sliding from G up to G sharp again. And these notes, we could see this as being an A major 9 arpeggio. With this sort of chromatic passing note of G, preceding the G sharp. We could also see this as being an F sharp minor 11th arpeggio. Being as it's over this F sharp minor 7th chord. But it's quite a well-used idea in jazz, the idea of moving up a minor 3rd and playing a major 7th or a major 9 arpeggio. Something we've seen a bunch of times in other licks that we've checked out. So I'd suggest that's maybe the easiest way to analyse what he's playing here. And he follows this. We're going to this B, then A, C sharp, E, G sharp, F sharp, and B. And these notes, we're over the B7 now, and the B he hits, that's actually an anticipation. So that comes as 16th note before the chord shifts to B7. And he's going up a major 7th arpeggio, another A major 7 arpeggio. Again, we could see that as being F sharp minor 9. And then the F sharp and the B are very much outlining B major. That's the fifth and the root in B. So it's kind of an implied 5-1 again. You could also see it as moving down a whole step over the dominant seventh and playing a major seventh arpeggio, kind of A over B. It has that sound to it. So yeah, we could see it both ways. And then chord shifts to F minor 7. We get this idea. So we start on the F, then A flat, C, E flat, G, E natural, F, E flat, then going to the D. And he sweeps up this arpeggio. So again, notes-wise, what we've got here, a couple of ways of looking at this, we could see this as all being F minor 9. Or we could also see it that he starts on the F and then goes up A flat major 7. It's very similar to the idea we just had, move down a half step. So yeah, we could see that as being A flat major 7th, straight up an A flat major 7th arpeggio, or again as it's over the F, we could see that as being F minor 9. And then goes to this E natural, which is kind of a passing note, to the F. We could also see these little 3 notes as an example of enclosure. You're heading for the F, so you're playing the scale tone above, which is G, then the chromatic note half step below, then hitting the note you want. Popular jazz idea. Then he comes down the scale to land on the major 3rd as the chord shifts to B flat 7, this D. And over the B flat 7 we get this idea. So we've got the D we just mentioned, then we move up to this C, then G and F, then B flat, A flat, G, F, and E flat. So we get this. And these notes, we could see them as all coming from B flat Mixolydian. Or we could see them as maybe suggesting F minor 9. So, could all be B flat Mixolydian, it certainly works as well, but there's that sort of hint of, again, another sort of 5-1, kind of implied 5-1 in there. And then as the chord shifts to E flat 9 sus to E flat 9, he lands on beat 1 on the E flat. It's a very strong resolution to the root of the E flat chord. It moves down chromatically from the E flat to the D flat, to the flat 7th, and skips down to this F, which is ghosted on the original, but it's hard to hear, but it sounds like an F to me. Then to C, then A flat, then B flat, then F. These notes, as I said, this is all over E flat 9 sus, E flat 9. And we could see them all, apart from the chromatic passing note, D natural. is coming from E flat mixed Lydian. We could also see a bit of a kind of implied 5-1 idea there, because E flat 9 sus, we could also see that as being B flat minor 7 over E flat. It's basically B flat minor 7th, but with E flat in the bass, and then the E flat 9. And there's just a hint that he's kind of playing on that sound here. So just kind of moving back to sort of just imply a bit of B flat minor there over the E flat 9 sus. Then he moves the second half of the bar to this idea. So the notes we've got here are A natural to F sharp, A flat to F sharp, then to G. So the whole phrase. And these notes, we can see them as being, there's different ways we can look at this. It's kind of chromatic idea. We've sort of got this idea. He's sort of moving from this B flat down to the G chromatically. So he's going from the B flat down to the F, then the A down to the F sharp, then the A flat down to the F sharp, then to the G. So it's kind of pedaling around the F sharp for the last couple of notes. So it's a nice little kind of chromatic idea to get us to the G. And these last few notes we can see as an example of encirclement, which is another bebop idea, which basically involves playing the notes a half step above and a half step below the note that you're heading for. So we're heading for G. So he finishes off this little phrase by playing A flat, then F sharp. Nice little descending kind of chromatic idea leading us to that G. G, as I mentioned before, is the major third of the E flat 9. And then he follows it with this idea. So basically he's going from B flat to D flat to F to A flat to C. And this, we could see this as being B flat minor 9 arpeggio. Or we could see it as starting on the B flat and then going up D flat major 7th. And this is exactly the same idea that we had down here. Over the F minor 7th chord, but here we're over the B flat minor 7th chord, so we're up here. So it's exactly the same idea, and we could see it these two ways. We could see it as being B flat minor 9, or we could see it as moving up a minor third, B flat up to the D flat, and going straight up this D flat major 7th arpeggio to give us this B flat minor 9 sound. And again, same sweep up. And from this C, he goes up chromatically up to the E flat. Hammering on, then back to the C. So this, if we're thinking in terms of the D flat major 7th, he's basically going up chromatically from the major 7th to the 9th. Or we could see it in relation to the B flat minor 7th, in which case that would be going up from the 9th to the 11th. Or, as this is all over an E flat 9 sus chord, we could see this as going from the 13th up to the root, the 6th up to the root. And we could see this whole arpeggio as being basically E flat 13. This This is one of the joys of jazz. There's so many different ways you can interpret things. But I would suggest the simplest way of thinking of this is just as a D flat major 7th arpeggio, or D flat major 9, in fact, as he's going up to the 9th. And again, as I mentioned before, it's this idea we could see as being either moving up a minor 3rd over the minor 7th chord and playing major 7th, or over the dominant 7th, moving down a whole step and playing this major 7th arpeggio. So over the E flat, we get D flat major 7th. And then he finishes off with this idea. So that's the notes: G, F, D flat, C, and B flat. And these notes, again, it's over the E flat 9 chord. We could see this all as coming from E flat mixolydian. Or we could also see it as, again, being another kind of implied 5-1 idea. So these initial notes, maybe suggesting B flat minor, and then the final 2 notes, the C and the B flat, suggesting a return to E flat by going from the 6th to the 5th. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on in this line. It's a very pretty line, lovely choice of notes, great phrasing, great sound, obviously being Wes. So let's try putting all of this together slowly. 3 and 4. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at a great Wes Montgomery line. If you have, don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more videos, but I'm going to close by playing this at half speed with a backing track, and then a couple of times back up to tempo to finish.